I'm so smart. I am so smart. I am so smart. Okay. Okay, I figured it out. I think we're ready to get started. Okay, so this stream is gonna be much better. Okay, I went through different like avenues to figure out why my connection sucked. And so I've done everything I have to do. I have lowered all the settings. Like I'm running basically nothing. I'm using Edge. So hopefully with these two things in mind, this stream will actually go smoothly and there'll be no problems. Here's hoping. And if it does, then I'll use this setting for future going forward. All right, before we get started with the actual topic of the day, which is the article about the most intelligent character in Code Geass, ironically not written by someone who was intelligent. At least I don't think, because it's Screen Rant. I figured, hey, let's talk about what I'm watching really quickly. I went to the library and I got nice stuff. So let's just take a look at that real quick, and then we'll get started. All right. So first thing I got was, let's see if you guys can see this. So Evangelion has like these films. They're alternate universe films, as far as I understand. So I please hit the video resolution. I don't care. Sorry, I was taking some of this stream. Anyways, here we go. So yeah, here's the Evangelion films. I got let's see, 1.1, 2.2, and 3.3. I know the latest one, but it came out this year or something. So yeah, got that going on. Here's a classic that I don't know if everyone's heard of this film. It's an oldie but a goodie. Armageddon. I've always wanted to see this film, and well, now I get to. I was like, oh, this is the library. Darn, you know, this is why I always tell you guys, like, well, not always, but I say, you know, go to the library and see what's there, because you'd be surprised what you can find. You'd be surprised what you can. So, yeah, Armageddon, pretty cool stuff. Okay, next thing we got here. All right, I love Gundam, so we have this is Char's Counterattack. I've never seen it before. I've only watched the original. I'm also getting through Double O right now, so we got that. All right, what's next? This is Double O. As I was saying before, this is the second season, so I've watched the first one, and I'm going through the second one right now. So kind of cool. All right, next. This is Unicorn. You guys can see that. There you go. It's got pretty cool. Let's see. I got the last of Gundam Wing. So I told you guys before in the what's my birthday box thing that like you have to buy them like separate, not buy them, but you have to get them separate packages, because if you open it up, you know, see, it's one disc. So I have like, what is this? 6 of these now, and it's just one disc each, so it's whatever. Don't worry, we'll get to the good stuff too. I'm just you know, sharing what I'm up to. All right, last things I got for you. So this is Scrapped Princess. See, it's actually technically a mecha. I didn't even know that. That's why I kind of checked it out. Here's Ghost in the Shell. What is this? Standalone Complex. And finally, Blue Gender. Yep, I've never seen these before, but I'm pretty excited to get into it. Okay. So far, my stream hasn't gone to the crapper, so what I'm doing is working. It is telling me this is not optimal, so if like the screen isn't good or the way I'm coming across isn't, let me know. I'm just curious if like you can't, if like it's just not clear enough. For example, if I go through the article and you guys can't read it, let me know. I'm pretty sure you should be able to. It says it's not optimal. It doesn't mean it won't work. There's a difference, and I have experienced it a lot on this channel. Okay. All right, so that's what I'm looking at, or I should say watching it off in the library. I might do that before each stream, just let you guys know what's going on. But yeah, let's get to you know, why we're here, right? So let me just get set up. Take 2 seconds here just to get set up. Okay, video capture, and just for like for those who don't remember, or last stream, someone brought up that we should go over the most intelligent characters in Code Geass written by Screen Rant, and I ran out of time, so like literally my camera died, so I couldn't do it. But we're gonna do it now because I think it's worth talking about. But again, it's written by Screen Rant, so you know, what are you expecting? Okay, let's transition. Okay, so hopefully you are seeing my screen and you are seeing me. We're going to go over this article, which is... yeah, we'll see. Well, thing is, Yoshi, the hard part for me isn't we debating who should be on the list. The hard part for me is judging their own picks, but that's also true. Alright, so here we go. Code Geass characters ranked by intelligence. In case you guys didn't know, by the way, Screen Rant owns CBR. So if CBR articles are not good and clickbaity, what do you think these are going to be? Just, you should know what you're getting into before we get into this. Anyhow, Code Geass is a delight for fans who enjoy intrigue and strategy, featuring an incredible array of intelligent, cunning, and unforgettable characters. Okay? Widely regarded as having one of the most intricate, detailed plots in anime, Code Geass is a delight for fans who enjoy intrigue, strategy, and gripping mecha combat. Okay, there's also other aspects too, but we can go into that maybe later in this video if it comes up. The show grapples with difficult moral questions and weaves together science, fantasy, and political themes brilliantly. Okay, Lifetime Guild was effective, wasn't interesting. Might go into that later. If we have time, we might check out other articles written by Screen Rant. But anyhow, given that the show has such a complex and shifting narrative, it stands to reason that many of the main characters are exceptionally intelligent. From calculating schemers to genius tacticians, Code Geass features a host of incredible smart characters with conflicting goals and motivations. Now, before we get into this, I just noticed something, or last week I should have mentioned this. I'm kind of annoyed that this article came out, in case you guys don't see this. It came out in June 3rd, 2021. So that wasn't too long ago. What was that? 2 weeks ago? And when you go through the list, you're going to notice that it only has characters from the original series. But we now have stuff like Renya of Darkness, Akito the Exiled, Oz of the Reflection, right? And yet we only pull from like the main series. And that kind of annoys me because the name Code Geass is a bit deceptive because it's just say Lelouch of the Rebellion at this point. Because it's not Code Geass anymore. I mean, when I try to do lists, I'm not the best at it, but I try to look at everything that I know of where that's out there and try to put them together because it's not really a fair list of talking about intelligent characters when you don't even consider like half the stuff that's out there and will be out there. But anyways, here we go. Number 10, Kallen Kozuki. Okay. Although some fans may consider Kallen Kozuki to be more of a hot-headed fighter than a brilliant strategist, she's actually intelligently gifted. Kallen's one of the most talented nightmare pilots in the series, demonstrating that she can process information extremely quickly. Maybe fast would be my better word there. And react appropriately in a chaotic environment. Well, sometimes. I mean, didn't she freak out when Lelouch was going to be killed by Schneizel and the Avalon? She ran out and... whatever. I think generally speaking, yeah, she's good. But she can get a little crazy. So I don't know if... I kind of get what they're saying, but one of Kallen's weaknesses is she does get a little, as I said, hot-headed. So I'm kind of confused. She's hot-headed, but she can process information extremely quickly and react appropriately in a chaotic environment. I mean, aren't those contradictory thoughts? Hot-headed and then react appropriately? Like, if you react appropriately, then you're not... whatever. Doesn't matter. I mean, it does, but what do you expect? She has a she has strong moral character, as seen by her refusal to accept the treatment of the Japanese by the Britannians, even though she herself is half Britannian. Additionally, while a student at Ashford Academy, she's effectively hid her true identity to avoid suspicion, proving that she is very cunning and can adapt to personality and depending on the need of the situation. All right, I'm confused here. Intelligence, right? And we're talking about all kinds of intelligence, right? Not just on the battlefield. So why don't we talk about her grades in school? Like when she was a kid, you ever see that if you watch the ending of I think it's the first ending of Code Geass Lelouch Rebellion R1, you can see her as a kid and she's an A+ on her her scorecard. So she's actually smart academically. They don't really bring that up, and that's funny because other CBR articles, I know this is Screen Rant, but other CBR articles have mentioned the fact that Kallen is intelligent academically, so I'm confused as to why they don't mention that here. The other thing about Kallen, about her strategy and I guess brilliance, it's considering everyone who's in this story how exactly is this, like, they're not really defending, or not, they're not justifying this. They're just saying because she's actually gifted and is a talented nightmare frame pilot. Now, it's true. I did mention in one of my lists, well, one list by Kallen, that she was able to learn how to use the Gurren really quickly. And actually, there's certain scenes. I was watching the show actually yesterday. There's certain scenes where she's like sitting. I think it was in stage 12. She's like looking at the manual. She's always reading the manual, by the way. If you pay attention, it's one of those like little things. If you go back to the show, she's always reading the manual. But anyways, so she's reading the manual and she's definitely learning quickly how to use stuff. I mean, she used the what was it, the Satan elements in like a couple of minutes reading it. So yeah, she's definitely brilliant. But considering that Lloyd, Rakshata are not on this list, or Nina, who was actually called a genius by Lloyd, who created like the most powerful weapon in the show's, probably even if you consider everything else, the show's universe, I don't know how you can justify her being up here. That's the real problem for me. It's one, I think that she's not an idiot, but they don't mention her, I think, her greatest strength, which is again her academic intelligence. But two, how is she deserving on this list over others? So I'm a little confused there. I'll go through a couple of comments. There aren't too many. Let's see. This article was written by Tamaki. You know what? I wish it was, because if it was written by Tamaki, at least I'd be laughing right now. And I'm not going to be laughing during this article. How is moral intelligence? I have no idea. There's emotional intelligence. There's different types of intelligence besides, academic. I forgot the. Let's see if I could. I'll look at it real quick. I'm afraid to like run anything because it's gonna like. Let's see. It's called types of intelligence. In fact, we might even keep I might just pull this up, just so we can look at it. There's a guy who came up with this. If I don't find me really angry, what is it? There was a was this it? There was a guy who came up with this. I can't remember his freaking name. I don't think it's this. This is one too, but it was a where the heck was it? Psychology, that's right. Where was this guy who came up with this? Howard Gardner. Yeah, that's it. I got it. So Howard Gardner, he came up with this. I don't think he came up, but here's a different type of intelligence. You have natural, musical, logistical, existential, interpersonal, body kinesic. That's like athletes and stuff. Like Michael Jordan may not have been like he wouldn't get like he wouldn't go to Harvard doing physics, but when it came to basketball, he was like a genius. So that's one. Linguistics, obviously, interpersonal intelligence, spatial. So, but you're right. I don't see moral here. I'm not sure how that works, because it isn't morality, depending on who you talk to, subjective versus objective. So everything is subjective. I don't know. If the list of intelligent characters doesn't include those who create the Lancelot and the Gurren, it's not intelligence, but something else in the writer's head. Well, I did say at the beginning, if CBR or Screen Rant is writing this stuff, then it's probably not good. But anyhow, yeah, I'm not sure. As we go through the list, I'll see if this is valid or not. Okay, number 9, Suzaku Kururugi. Ooh, they put this on here to piss off the fan. That's why they did this, because a lot of people don't like Code Geass and Suzaku Kururugi. That's why he's here. Okay, Suzaku Kururugi is a complicated individual in Code Geass. Some people think he's an idiot. At times, acting like a dual antagonist of the series, but also working against Lelouch and his allies. Like Kallen, Suzaku is a gifted nightmare frame pilot, has the capacity to pilot the experimental nightmare frame Lancelot. Although his moral character changes throughout the series, he ultimately decides to follow his own path. Wasn't he doing that from the beginning? He was always following his own path. Did you not watch the show? There was a part where he's fighting with Toto in stage 17, and he's telling 17. He was gonna execute him, and he was telling him, I'm gonna make them trust me, and I'll go up there, up the ladder. And Toto's like, you know what? I don't agree with what you're doing, but this is your path. Go follow it. He's always been following his own path. That's wow. That's a crappy take. That's not even intelligent. That's just okay. Together with Lelouch, he helps to devise the Zero Requiem in a bid to achieve world peace. Well, we don't know how much Suzaku actually contributed to the Zero Requiem, like the planning of it. Yeah, he was obviously the sword, right, and the shield, but did he actually help him come up with it? I mean, he did tell Lelouch that we knew it would end up this way, but did he come up with the idea to join with the UFN? Did he come up with the idea to use the Geass on Schneizel to serve Zero, to have Nunnally become Empress? Did he come up with all that? I don't think so. I don't think so. But we don't see proof of it, so that's kind of why. And he's never done anything like Suzaku has plans, but never that type of scale. He wanted to become the Knight of One to take over Japan, but he didn't really discuss like exactly beyond what he planned to do. I mean, I kind of put together the pieces, if you will, but that's not the same level of planning as like Lelouch. That's why some people don't like Suzaku, even they think he was doing a good job, because Lelouch had better like overall scheming. So if that makes any sense. But anyhow, his decision to take up the mantle of Zero also points to his maturity as a force and foresight, as he realized that it's the only way to ensure the success of Zero Requiem. I don't know about foresight. I mean, again, okay, I guess so, because they said we knew how it would end. But here's the question, though. How have you justified his intelligence here? Okay, so I will say, of these lists here, he's definitely bodily kinesthetic. He's a super athlete. No doubt there. But the rest of it, though, I don't know. Like, Suzaku never seemed that smart. There was a part, I believe it was in she started going to school again. He was talking to Cecile, and Cecile was saying like, "Oh, how's school going?" And he's like, "Oh, it's not good. It's not going well. Think up here, help me out, but I'm terrible." So academically, probably not that smart. What else we got here? I'm not sure what naturalist means. Musical, I've never seen Zaku play any instruments, although he did scream that one time. I don't think he's that logistical. Existential, I guess so, maybe. Interpersonal, no, I don't think he's okay with that. He does flirt with Cecile. Does that count? I don't know. Interpersonal, yeah. Wait, inter and intra. Okay, we're different. Spatial intelligence, I should hope so. Okay, but so far we've gone through 2 pilots. Neither one should be on this list. I don't hate these characters, but okay. We'll go for one more and I'll read some comments. Although he's number 8, Li Xingke. Although he's one more time. Although he is initially introduced as a mere bodyguard to the Hierix? Oh my god. I'm like blanking out. High Unix. There we go. High Unix. I got it. Go High and Go High. Li Xingke proves his mental fortitude as a character as his character becomes more important over the course of the series. Wait. Li Xingke proves his mental fortitude as his character becomes more important over the course. Okay, got it. Also, at least they're spelling his name right, because his name is kind of hard to pronounce, spell. Okay. Fiercely loyal to the Chinese Empress Federation, especially Empress Tianzi, Li is an accomplished pilot who quickly identifies his right moves to make in combat. For example, he purposely took a hit from Bismarck Waltzing to position himself so he could save the Chinese Federation flagship, a move that took both guts and foresight. He is also deft at playing politics, as seen by his design to use the Black Knights for his own aims of securing the security say that 5 times fast. Securing the security of the Chinese Federation and Empress Tianzi's safety. Okay, one thing they're not mentioning here is he can pilot the Shen Hu. They made it very clear in the story. I believe it was Lloyd said it or Rakshata. One of them said it was Rakshata, because Lloyd wouldn't be helping out the Chinese Federation. They made this really powerful nightmare frame, and no one could pilot it because it was like impossible for the normal human being, and he could pilot it. I mean, if we're talking about Li Xingke's intelligence, we should probably go that far, right? Because he piloted a mech a nightmare frame, I should say, that most couldn't. The rest of the stuff here, yeah, he's definitely good at politics. Good strategy when he fights. But again, is that like... So is this list just who's the best military tactician? So just say that then. Who's ranked by the military tactician, not someone who's just smart all around? Because again, I've gone through this like 15 times already. There's more than one type of intelligence. That's why I argue people about like Lelouch's intelligence. Like, oh, is he like the smartest guy? Or, well, it depends. Look at the different things, you know. You gotta be more, you gotta look at all different type of stuff, different stuff when you're making this type of analysis. All right, here we go. Because those two are some of the greatest geniuses in the show in terms of scientific intelligence, they outrank even Lelouch. On some level, yeah, I would definitely say that like Lloyd, Rakshata, and Cecile are, and even Nina. I mean, remember Lelouch said when it was and Narita, he's like, this wasn't accurate. If I talked to Nina, she could probably make sure it would be more accurate, like more precise. So he was basically admitting at that point that Nina's smarter than him, at least academically. But again, there are more types of intelligence. I wish they would be more specific what kind of intelligence they were looking at. I agree. They're not saying anything. Next one. The one girl with the crack pipe who was the kind of Lloyd's rival. I think girlfriend too. Very confused about that one. She can be on the list? Yeah, but she isn't. Spoiler alert, sorry. Didn't Suzaku need to take extra class for help? Yep, he sure did. And he needed Lelouch's help and for tutoring, so. What do you think of Zero Recapture, if he's still here, will be about? Do you think it'll cover the careers of the Geass/Seas world? That was my original thought when I came with that one video discussing it. That's what I think. I mean, what else can you do? You want to do Code Geass in space? Well, I got some news for you. Hold on. I was at the bottom. Oh, that's weak. Give me a second here. They already made a show about mechas in space from Sunrise. It's called Double O. I don't know if you can see this. So, yeah, they already did it. Because I was really thinking, like, yeah, we should do Code Geass in space. And I watched Double O. I'm like, wait, they already did Code Geass. They already did a mech story in space. So, it wasn't a magical mech story in space. But still, they've already explored that area. So, I'm not really sure what they're going to do. I like to see, if it was me, I'd like to see maybe Akito come back with Layla and see what they're up to. Some people think Rennet could be alive. I have no idea, but Oz is, so, seeing her would be nice. Anyhow, next thing. I would say Suzaku is a gifted warrior. It's probably intelligent in terms of one on the battlefield, but by pure intelligence, I wouldn't say he'd be even in the top 10. No, I'd say top 20, especially if you consider all of Code Geass, right? Not the Illusion of the Rebellion. Li Xingke is the first one, I agree with, skilled warrior as well as gifted tactician, and a politician mover, yes, to plan the coup. Yeah, no, Xingke is not stupid. He is many things, like not alive in the alternate universe. But he is not stupid, so I agree. Li Xingke should be on this list. At least until we see everyone else on there. Alright. Number 7. Euphemia v. Britannia. Isn't it Lee Britannia? No, it is V. Is it V? I'm freaking out now. Hold on, that seems wrong to me. Is it V? I don't know why I'm like, it's probably V. Is it V? It is Lee. Ha! I knew it. It is Lee. I have no life. I proved it. I have absolutely no life. But it is Lee, not V. Come on, guys. You were doing so well. Like, real talk, though. This article is actually pretty good on the spelling and accuracy so far in the series, except for, like, one take here. And you guys messed it up with this. Man, if I took a drink every time these articles pissed me off, I don't think I'd get through this. I don't think I'd live through the stream. But yes. That's bad. I mean, here, like I was saying before, they kind of missed some stuff, and here they got something wrong. But here, oh god, and they doubled down on it too. Look at that, they doubled down on it. Okay. Lelouch's half-sister, Euphemia Li Britannia, may be more kind-hearted, open-minded than the fellow... Jesus, it's not that late. Open-minded than many of her fellow Britannians, but she is no less intelligent. Well, being open-minded doesn't mean you're an idiot. It just means you're open to different ideas. That's not stupidity. It's only stupid when you let every single idea come into you and take over who you are. If you do what everyone says, then you're stupid. But if you're just open to different perspectives, that doesn't make you stupid. This is supposed to be Screen Rant. I thought they were a liberal blog. Anyhow, she's a strong believer in universal human rights and does not look down on people passed upon their nationality. On people passed upon. Just say based on. Anyways, Euphemia is extremely perceptive and possesses a high level of deductive reasoning skills, such as she correctly deduced that Lelouch was still alive after witnessing the hotel jacking. Wait, no, she deduced he was Zero. I mean, that's true, but you need to mention that it was... She figured out that Zero was Lelouch. That's how she knew he was alive. I mean, I'm not saying that's wrong, but not entirely accurate. Like Lelouch's attack on Narita, on the mountain. Not entirely accurate. While she's a bit naive, she ultimately leads to her downfall via Geass. While she's been naive, which leads ultimately... No. No. Hold on. Let's finish this. She also has a clearer vision. Her ability to see a bigger picture speaks to her creativity, intelligence, and willingness to problem solve even in the face of insurmountable odds. Okay, first of all, you're basically implying here that somehow her naivete led to the Geass use. It was an accident. Lelouch was never going to use it on her. What? Man, even this wasn't terrible. Oh, except for the name. That was awful. Like the way they spelled it. But no. Okay, so that's part wrong. The rest of it, did I ever consider Yuffie to be intelligent? Um, she's hard. She has good emotional intelligence. I'll say that much because she was able to attack Lelouch where no one else could. You know, people attack him by war, right? And certain like even Schneizel attacked him low blow in R2 when he had Nunnally as hostage, right? But here she did a different way. She realized Lelouch's ultimate emotional goals. Because as you see here, I think it's interpersonal intelligence, and she was able to get to him that way. So yeah, she's very smart in that regard, but she's not academically smart. She made to Lelouch that like when it came to studies and chess, I will never beat you, but I know how to actually play this game the way you don't. As Lelouch said, you're a tough opponent, and if you wanna really go down, go be technical. She's one of the only people that actually defeated Lelouch, like definitively defeated him. Like he gave up and lost. So that's pretty impressive because no one else ever made Lelouch totally give up, except for Schneizel, and that was because Nunnally was dead and he had nothing to live for. So no one else really made Lelouch ever say, you know what, I actually give up, you win. So in that respect, yeah, she's pretty smart. But it also implies that if Lelouch if Lelouch is the smartest character and she beat him, then it means she deserves to be on the list. But she's not really a militarist tactician. She's more of an emotional. As I said here, she's got good high deducting reading skills, which is true. I just like the fact they made this whole thing about her naivete led to her downfall. No, it didn't. That was an accident. Or is this, you know what? These two, I'm not sure if I'd put them 8-7, but they definitely should be on here. I think pretty good justifying it. All right. Number 6, Cornelia V. They did it again. They did it again. That's like when you're like, I was going to say something really awful. I'm not even going to. Okay. Number 6, Cornelia Li Britannia. Cornelia Li Britannia managed to become Chief General of the Imperial Army of Britannia. Oh, huh. 2 N's, guys. 2 N's. I know I can't spell for the life of me or grammar. It's really weird. Like if I write my own articles, I get it all wrong when I look at it later. But other people's, I can just easily find these problems. Anyways, Imperial Armor Britannia, through a combination of her natural talent and cold calculating intelligence, she's very cunning and even manages to lay traps for Zero that Lelouch is unable to see. Well, at least once. That was in Stage 7. For much of the series, she views Zero as her enemy, but once she learned about Lelouch's motives, she puts aside her hatred of him for killing Euphemia to ensure that his goal of world peace is achieved. Her ability to set aside her own vendetta show a deep level of maturity and sophisticated understanding of politics that points to a keen and mature intellect. Wait a minute. Wait. What? All right, I got some thoughts on this, but let's get to the comments real quick. But there's something wrong about this. But anyways, let's see. All right. We got Elijah, best enemy ever. Yep. Eva. Way to blame the victim. Yeah, they basically blame Yuffie for what happened to her. She was the only character to talk down Lelouch. Yeah, she was. That's why I said she actually was quite intelligent. Oh god. Akira keeping an alien. Go to the website and you guys always send it to me. Look, just so you guys know, if we get all signing this petition, it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, why is Xingke so low if Lelouch admits he's a good tactician as skill is? Well, it's because there's different types of there's dude like Akira dude, stop spamming, okay? I know you want us to sign the petition, but seriously, stop spamming. Anyways, back to Ryan's comment. Why is Xingke so low if Lelouch admits he's a good tactician as him and skilled as Suzaku? Well, because again, they don't mention it here, but if I was making the list, I would take into account all types of intelligence. And Xingke's only good at like he's a good strategist, good tactician, good soldier. And obviously he could put the Shenhu, but what about other things? Is he like can he really like lead the same level Lelouch can? I mean, he might be able to figure out a good way to rescue someone, let's say in a hostage situation, but could he like lead a whole country? I don't know. Lelouch can, so that's kind of difference between the two of them. But anyways, do you think Lelouch is evil? From Wolf JR evil? Oh, I don't want to spoil my video coming up soon, which is Lelouch a villain, hero, or anti-hero? I will say that for most of the story, it's actually interesting. I don't want to go too far into the rabbit hole, but I'll just say this much. If you look at his actions from the beginning of the series in the first like R1, most of it was pretty heroic, and you could justify it being so. Or anti-hero. Not very villain stuff. Like when actually Lelouch was inspired by a character from X. I will show you Akira. Let's see. X anime. Which probably if you guys haven't seen X, it's made by Clam. And it wasn't good. So I hope I don't get anything like weird here. Yeah, see? This character here. Looks like a Lelouch, doesn't he? Yeah. That's where they got the design at least. But anyways, all right. So that's that. And so right, I was on a tangent about Lelouch being evil, right? So some of the actions were actually pretty good or anti-hero. Very little villain stuff. Like he killed Clovis, that was a villain thing to do. There was nothing anti-hero about that. Most of the stuff I was like, you know what? I get it. It makes sense to me. And I think that was justified in most cases. It's only to R2 where things kind of go downhill if you want to go that direction. Okay. I feel like Cornelia and Xingke should be switched, and then again, she performed well in the resurrection. Yeah, well, here's the thing about that, Glider King. They don't even take into account that film or anything else in Code Geass. And the problem is, Xingke's dead by that point. We never see it, but apparently he's dead. So you can't even, like, if you're going to go to the other universe, how is that going to work? You know, you got to make some ground rules. But yeah, there's definitely a good point there. So here's the thing that I was going to say about Cornelia. I don't understand. It said that she views Zero as the enemy once she learns about Lelouch's motives. But when does she ever learn about Lelouch's motives? That's like a theory people have. As far as I know, that was never accepted canon. It wasn't like she might have realized maybe at the end. Some people say the theory is she knew at the end what the Requiem was about. But as far as I know, she never knew Lelouch had any intention of the Zero Requiem. And for most of the series, yeah, most of the series she wasn't even really like this whole statement, this last paragraph, I don't understand. Like, do we watch the same show? Like, she went after Geass, you know, the Aura to stop them because that's what kind of killed her sister. But she wasn't exactly happy with Lelouch either. I mean, they all assumed Zero was. That's so weird. Like this one paragraph, like what is this based on exactly? Resurrection? Well, you didn't include that here. You're talking about like two different things. You have to be more clear next time when you say something like that, because as far as I know, this makes absolutely no sense. I can't think of one time in the series where she knew about Lelouch's motives to save the world, considering that came, what, at the end of the series? So when did that happen exactly? Cornelia was in a hospital bed during that time. How did she know anything? Come on, guys. We were doing so well, and then you have this misspelling, and oh. Oh, sorry. I'm being a little hyperbolic. I apologize. Charles D. Britannia. Yep, he is the D, all right. The D. Britannia. So we know, just so we know, Googling stuff is fun. It's Z Britannia, guys. It's Z. You literally, you know, there's another article written by Screen Rant where they just said Lelouch's father. No, not Lelouch's father. They said King Charles or something. It was. Oh God, it was bad. Oh, evildoer. Nice. Charles Z. Britannia. Man, it's days like this. Okay, we're halfway through. Lelouch's father and the main antagonist of the series, Charles D. Britannia. I mean, it's funny, they doubled down on it. And they lowercased it here, but they capitalized it here. Okay. Is a cunning and ruthless leader. He is an adept political actor, thwarting countless assassination attempts and political struggles, while simultaneously spearheading a series of successful military campaigns. Well, he did have good people, working with him. But sure, we'll go with it. His visionary plan to unite the world under a single mind and thereby create a collective consciousness is a truly ingenious plan, albeit one straight from the dreams of a mad scientist. He manages to get the best of Lelouch on several occasions, and while he ultimately is defeated by his son, he proved that he is no intellectual lightweight. Now, here's the thing about the intellectualness of Charles. I was thinking about this actually. Is he really that smart? Wasn't he working with V2 this whole time? Wasn't he helping him out avoiding the whole assassinations? I don't know. I go back and forth with this one because, I mean, obviously he's running a whole country, so you have to know what you're doing. But then again, he has like Schneizel's really smart, so maybe it's genetic. I don't know. It's just I'm thinking about like what he actually did as ruler, and it gives some examples here, right? He thwarted countless assassination attempts. He spearheaded a whole successful military campaigns. Well, sort of, I guess. He did expand the country. If you read into like the lore of Britannia, which there actually are books on that if you're very interested. But the whole idea, like the whole collective consciousness idea, is that really a smart idea? I don't think so. I mean, Lelouch pretty much debunked that, right? He said, like, you're stuck in the past. I believe in the future. So, was that an ingenious plan? Some have argued he could have accomplished the same thing if he just conquered the world. I guess I saw someone talk about it. I might do that in a future live stream. I don't know. Charles seems really high on this list, especially when he's D and not Z. But intellectual lightweight, I don't know. He seems more like a product of the people around him than himself. I mean, I could be wrong. I just, when I go back through like Code Geass, I've watched it, God, so many times at this point. I can't think of any moment where he specifically did something that was so smart. I was like, like Schneizel. There's so many moments. I mean, when he defeated Lelouch, was that because he was smarter than him, or because he just destroyed a VI overpowering force? I mean, he became immortal. Lelouch couldn't stop him. What did he do? He changed his memories with his Geass power, right? Because that's because Suzaku held him down and he lost that way. But was that actually like Charles being smart? Like that's to me. That's why I'm like, I don't know. I think it's a little high on the list. Let's go through one more and I'll read some comments. V2. Okay, this one I can kind of see. Charles' twin brother V2 may look young, but he's actually as cunning as younger twin. Are they twins? I'm not saying he's wrong. I didn't know they were twins. Alright, Googling stuff. Hold on. I didn't know they were twins. I can't remember if he ever said they were twins. Is that a thing? They're actually twins? But they are. I mean, like, okay. You listen to every day. Fraternal twin brother. Okay. I didn't know that. I don't recall him ever saying he was a twin. He said, I know he was younger. I didn't know he was a twin. All right. Cool. I guess they searched on Wikipedia too. But they couldn't get the spelling right. So, like, you do your job, but you didn't, apparently. Anyhow, V2 is the one who granted Charles his Geass contract. We don't know what Wells destroyed God, right? That's true. And he succeeded C2 in becoming the head of the Geass Order. This position alone underscored his brilliance as the organization managed to operate in secret for years in a hostile territory while pulling in the strings of political movements and leaders around the globe. I think he also did assassinations too, right? Of Rollo, for example. He's as ruthless and cruel as his brother. I'd say he's worse. I mean, Charles okay, that's not true. Charles is not evil from a certain point of view. So, he's not actually evil. But with V2 is actually evil. Okay, like he was actually evil. Charles, you can at least argue that he had the best intentions. They didn't go anywhere, and the way he executed stuff wasn't great. And he did also like spread the whole idea of what is it? Inequality vi all streams of life, right? He spread that knowledge, but I do believe that was just because he wanted to have like a mask of being this evil emperor. Basically, Lelouch did toward that as well, because Charles didn't actually believe in any of that stuff. He wanted a general world just like Nunnally wanted to. It's just his way to get there was destructive, to say the least. So to say that he is as evil as his brother is, that's not really accurate. But anyways, while he maintains a childlike tendencies, he's intellectually a mature man. I don't know. Maybe he managed to manipulate Charles for years, but ultimately did not foresee Charles turning on him and stealing his code of immortality. Well, he also lied to him too, right? Which was the biggest promise. V2 is pretty smart. I mean, he was able to manipulate Suzaku to go after Lelouch. Of course, that wasn't too challenging, given that Suzaku wasn't always the easiest, smartest person to show. Ironically, because he's listed what, number 9. But anyways, V2. God, again, it's like I don't know if he would be number 4. Like again, there's other people in the show who are probably smarter. I'm gonna think on this one. I do agree he did a good job leading the organization, and he definitely helped out with the God plan. It's probably more of him than Charles. Hard to say for sure, but if he's smarter, then I don't know. I don't know about that one. All right, let's count real quick. All right. Oh, we got a lot. Damn. Okay. Like a mix of the characters and Light Yagami. I mean, yeah, look, Lucian and Light Yagami are similar, but was he based on him? I don't know. That's possible. Brandon asked one question. What do you think Zero Requiem will be about? Do you think it'll be original? Gordon the Ground. Did you answer that before? Am I like... Okay, I'm not crazy. You did ask it before. Okay, I answered it. Let me just use something else before too. I'm like at episode 4 of A Key to Exile, so I'm gonna finish. Hope the rest of stream. Hope the rest of your stream. Goodbye. Okay, but then you came back. Anyways, yeah, I said before, Zero Capture. It might be about space. It might be about Code Geass. It just might be it could also just be a simple spin-off story like Akito the Exiled. So, knowing the careers of Code Geass, I'm sure it's gonna be a simple spin-off story. And we might have like people come in, like you might see Akito here and there. Maybe there'll be a little, dog, a bone throw. Here's Lelouch, but yeah. Hail Crimson King. Lelouch believes that the end justifies the means, so he might do evil things, but only if they serve his end, not for the pleasure. He's no joker, but a pragmatist. Yeah, I mean, look, he does awful things for his main goal. He wants to change the world for the better. And he's doing it for the right reasons, I think, to help Nunnally and of course eventually his friends too, but and of course the world, right? And he does that by doing evil stuff, which is the anti-hero, right? Anti-heroes, as far as I understand this, they do evil things with good intentions. Villains just do evil things for evil intentions. So the reason I was saying that when he killed Clovis, that was a villain move. He just killed him for petty revenge. Actually, he killed him for no reason. He was like, well, you gotta kill people in war and stuff, even though Clovis was completely useless. And I mean, yeah, he did kill those Japanese people, so you could argue maybe he was avenging their death, but most heroes I see in stories don't generally kill people who are innocent and defenseless. Generally speaking, that's like something you look down on. Again, I could be wrong, but I mean, like, have you guys seen Monster? This story here. Well, there's a character in this story where there's a lot of evil people in Monster. By the way, it's not just one person. That's why the name is actually kind of deceptive. Who is the monster? But anyways, in that story, there's one guy who did a lot of messed up stuff. He gets captured by someone else who wanted revenge, and he said, "I'm not going to kill you. I'm going to instead, you're going to be up for trial." So in that case, he wouldn't kill an innocent, defenseless man. That guy was in his 60s too, so double villain points if you kill him. But you're right. It was end justify the means. Mostly stuff that is kind of evil, but the overall hope was doing something good. You hope it. I said hope like 5 times. All right, Cornelia actually relied on her subordinates for her IQ, so she is smart as Knuckles from Sonic Boom. Boom, sorry. Yeah, wasn't Dalton the one who figured out that Lelouch was probably a student? No, a person who had a grudge against the Empire and not her. I believe it was Dalton who figured that out. So that's true. But she did outmaneuver him that one time in What was that ghetto code? I can't remember it. Okay. Ryan Rodriguez. I hope in the new anime Z the Recapture they explain his death. Are we talking about Xingke? Because I would agree. Please explain that. Um, Make a video about why the recap movie should be dubbed. I mean, look, I'm gonna say one thing about this topic. I'm not gonna address it again, but what I'm gonna say is that look about the dubbing of the films. It's a hard work to do that. You know, the Resurrection film, they got everyone back together for like a one-time thing. But you know how hard it is to do that in our show? Everyone's older now. Everyone has their own schedules. I don't know if people would want a new dub of the show with new actors. You know, I don't think anyone wants that. So if it's like the choice between new voice actors or no dub, I don't want a dub if that's the case. Like, look at Neon Genesis Evangelion. The dub is so weird. It's a whole new cast, and I guess for the new fans, they don't care. But me personally, I don't know. Lelouch did not die. Yes, in the alternate universe, he's not dead. That's true. You should make a response to the extra video on Code Geass. In his opinion, it would still be good to see your response to it. I do want to do that at some point. I just not now. I want more subscribers, more viewers, because I like to have a discussion with everyone about that. But I want to have I want a lot of people to really talk about that video because I was gonna do a video response to it like months ago. I even wrote a whole notes on it and everything. It was pretty crazy, but I think it'd be great if we could have enough people to really discuss it because there's a lot of problems with that video, especially the first one. The second one was a little easier to go through because R2 has more plot holes, sometimes than Swiss cheese. So I get why that was easy to pick apart, but R1 was so nitpicky. Oh my god, so nitpicky. And there was a video I saw, and I don't hate the YouTuber at all. I'm not gonna say his name, but he was talking about Code Geass, and he was saying things that were incorrect, at least the way I understood the series, and he didn't really justify the arguments to me why they were correct. They came across as very DXy. That's not even a term, but there we go. Okay. The only motives that she knew about were from the end of season 1 when Lelouch first showed himself, and she said this is for Nunnally. He said, yes, I don't think she knew about Zero Requiem. That's true, but the point they were making was that not only did she know about his motives, but she knew enough to not go after him. Even though part of the series in R2, they didn't even know that Lelouch was even alive, right? He was dead and there was a new Zero. No one even knew it was the same Lelouch until... Did Cornelia ever know it was the same Lelouch? I don't know. I mean, that's the thing that people forget. Lelouch came back as Zero, but everyone thought it was a new Zero. And Suzaku was going back and forth until turn 17. Are you the same person? I mean, if Suzaku didn't know who Lelouch was, if Suzaku didn't know that Lelouch was Zero, no one else knew. Okay, Charles knew, maybe no one knew. So I doubt Cornelia did. Anyways, fun fact: in sub of Code Geass, his name is Britannia. Really? Then why is it Z in the Wikia? That's interesting. It is D? That's very interesting. Okay. So why is it hold on. Let's see. Does that mention it here in the Wikia page? So is the Wikia page wrong? Have I been wrong my whole life? Let's see. Let's type in D. No, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to bookmark anything. No. No bookmark. Okay. Let's type in D. So, also known as D Britannia English subbed. So, which is it? Okay, fine. Well, let's get in the past. All right. Okay. What about Euphemia though? She is Li in both versions. Okay. So maybe the D worked, but the Li, no. No excuse there. Okay. A couple more things here. Okay. How do you feel about the proof about Lelouch being alive? You mean the whole theory that he was the cart driver? There's not much proof to it. Especially, there's no validity to it. Especially since the end of the recap film, I think it's called Requiem. They make it very clear he died. It was a cool theory, though. I mean, for the longest time, like when a lot of people watch Code Geass now are younger fans, but I watched it very early on in I want to say 10, 09, 010, I believe. And that was when people were still theorizing Lelouch took the code and he was still alive. And I used to tell my friends, is he alive or dead? We're like, yeah, you know, he could have taken the code and he's probably alive. C2 was talking to him, wasn't she? But now we now know that he died in the original series. It's like there was doubt, there is no more doubt. It was been confirmed. Especially now we have a new alternate universe where we bring him back to life. At the time, though, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to be a Code Geass fan in the early 2010s and even the late 2000s. It was a lot of fun. Okay. It all depends on how much he was directly controlling the Empire and military plans versus telling his children to go conquer the territory and letting them do it for him. Yeah, exactly. That's my point, Crimson King. Like, Charles was pretty smart, but was he smart because his family or military strategist handled stuff for him, or was he actually doing it himself? Because he didn't, he didn't really care much about what was going on in the environment, right? In the environment, in the Empire. He kept saying like, "Oh, I don't care about these mundane affairs. Schneizel will handle it. This guy will handle it. That guy will handle it." He didn't really care so much. I personally think that V2 was running everything the whole time, and Charles was kind of just sitting there doing nothing. Because he seemed too emotional and kind to actually do these awful things. At least once you learn about his ulterior motives behind the collective consciousness Ragnarock Connection. Okay, where else we? Where are we? Oh my god. Jesus, there's so many comments here. Alright. Alright, here we go. Okay. I think him creating the sword conscious kill guy was pretty impressive. Right, but did he design it or did he tell people to make it? Was it his idea for it to even exist? I don't know. Let's say if it was, I agree. Charles at least loved his wife and children somewhat. V2, I don't think loved anyone. No, V2 didn't. Really didn't. That's absolutely true. In fact, Charles knew he did. That's why he hid his kids from him. That was the whole point where he said, you know, I hid you guys because I knew that V2 would kill you. So yeah, Charles knew V2 was pretty evil. He let Charles and his wife kill his wife, the one he loves spending time with. Yep. V2 killing Mariana was beyond a remove. Oh god, V2. Well, he's got the long hair, so you don't know. Nah, I'm just joking. He's somewhat smart. Yeah. Even what he did during Oz of Reflection. Yeah, you know, that's funny. They don't even discuss that here. And I mentioned at the beginning of the stream that, like, there's so many different Code Geass stuff now out there, you know, like Renya, Oz, Akito, and then you have the alternative stuff like, what is it, Nightmare of Nunnally. You know, so many different avenues you can look at for characters and television. They always pick, like, just the original series. Guys, it's 2021. There's more out there now than the original series. Please stop making these lists, or if you're going to, look at everything. I haven't read all of Reflection yet because I can't find a place that has it. But I know that V2 was very involved in it. I believe he gave, did he give Orifice the Geass power? I think he also gave, was it Toto and, God, I don't remember. He gave a bunch of people Geass power in that show, in that manga. Can they animate that? I keep posting in their Jezari Code sub. I mean their channel. I'm a little trolly, but I always say, hey guys, can you please animate Oz Reflection, a 12 OVA series, an hour each? Can we do that, please? Like Keto the Exiled, that'd be nice. After you finish Zero Recapture, of course. Okay. Clovis was a jerk from the start. Never respected the people who supported him. Plus, the royal family admitted Clovis was a snub. Yeah, didn't just even like the people around him knew he was a joke. Didn't D-Tard say like this whole thing's a sham? You know, D-Tard was like, if you listen to the show, D-Tard was the most real guy in the room. Like he told you straight what was going on. Yeah, Clovis was he was a clown. The whole time he was helping out. He was studying C2 with Bartley, but he was like, oh, Charles didn't know about her. We're going to present her. And the whole time they all knew. It was just, God, Clovis was dumb. Why did Charles even talk to him in Sarvakasha? What was the point of that? Okay, you're thinking of episode 7 hour 1 of Cornelia, Albert Lelouch, and he only was saved by C2. Yeah, that's right. It was age 7. I just don't remember the name of the ghetto. So frustrating. But yeah, you're right. She outmaneuvered him, so that was pretty smart. But she also lost him too. So, anyways, okay. He gave Orpheus Toto and Rollo and Clara's Geass. Wait. Didn't he also give Maribel a Geass power too? Didn't he give Maribel's one? Didn't V2 give Maribel a Geass power? I believe she did. Anyhow, he gave Ulia. Not sure who that is. Again, I haven't gone through the story yet. In my head canon, Lelouch in the main R1 R2 series is dead, but revivable because the same events led to Lelouch receiving Charles' partial code. However, he never want nor to revive Lelouch. You know what? That's not a bad theory because what the problem with the recap films, and I actually went through this in my last live stream, they didn't really justify how, like, they were saying in the article that he was resurrected in the recap films. And I was saying, where? Where did that happen? The answer is it didn't. So you could easily argue that if the films roughly follow the same events as the original series, the difference is that Shirley died, so Lelouch was never recovered, and CD never wanted to bring him back to begin with. So you can argue that, yeah, he could still be revivable. That's a good theory. I like that. Are there any canon Code Geass movies? Yes. There are two canon films. There is Code Geass, Black Rebellion, and the Zero Requiem. They are recap films. There's no other films that I can think of. No, unless you count picture dramas. There's a couple picture dramas that are kind of long that recap stuff. No, not recap. Like its own. Like I think it's like a Miracle Birthday, and there's an anniversary one too. I guess you can count that. I think one was not canon though, because people come back as ghosts. I don't think ghosts exist in Code Geass, as far as I know. There is that thing in IQ to Exile with Shin, but that could have just been in his mind. Lelouch Bray defends himself. That's true. In fact, he doubles down for Ulia is Orpheus' girlfriend. Oh, that's nice. It's too bad I don't think he lives, but anyways. Do you think Lelouch is to be the main character in Zero Recapture? No. I wish, but no, I don't think so. I mean, you guys saw that picture, right? Where they showed the cover, and it had this new character with like a ponytail. It looked like Suzaku or Akito. It was a Japanese person. It definitely wasn't Lelouch. Lelouch, in my opinion, will be Lelouch will probably be. He might show up here and there, like he might be like passing through or something. But I don't think he's been a main character. I just don't see it, especially since they haven't really shown any promotional material. They haven't shown Jesari Code, which is like, when's that coming out, you know? I want to play that game on stream for you guys. One day. Where are we? Okay. Do you, Shinjuku Ghetto? No, it's a Saitama Ghetto. And by the way, I haven't looked anything up because you're looking at my screen, so it's Saitama Ghetto. That's the one. It was the same situation. Shinjuku was the first, that was stage 1 and 2. Saitama was 7. Yeah, when you're tired, that's what happens. Your brain doesn't work correctly. Yeah, Maribel had a contract V2 at start of O2. That's right. That's right. They need to dub the... Oh, my God. Dude, the Black Rebellion film should not be dubbed. It wasn't good. Carlos, if you're confused about that, I have a video on it and an article. If those are not good enough, then you can always comment on the video. I'm not sure if I share in the stream or not, but if you watch the video on my channel, it goes through the whole thing. I have an article that goes with that as well, if you're still confused. But basically, I'll summarize it like this, right? You have the original series and the alternate universe. Original series is R1, R2, Akito the Exiled, and if you want to read the manga, Renya and Oz the Reflection, that's really it. The alternate universe is the 3 films, Initiation, Transgression, Glorification, and Resurrection, and Zero Recapture. So that's it. That's really all there is. There's like more stuff, like, you know, there's more nuance to it, but that's in a nutshell. Articles. Oh, you know, it's funny, if you type in watch order here's how you find it, right? If you type in Code Geass, right? Watch order. I'm doing this for like boasting purposes, but like it's one of the first thing that comes up. Right here. See? So here's like, wait a minute, what is this crap? Huh? Oh, I gotta check this out now. Oh, look at that. Some people are trying to steal my views. You mother chuckers. Anyways, this is my article. It apparently is not the first thing that used to come up anymore. Anyway, it's right here. My channel is my Mia Chop. That's how you find it. But so we have this one here. Let's see. How short is this? This article is terrible because it just gives you like the chronological watch order. Well, you know, like things that came out, but it doesn't give you any nuance behind it. See, there's like nothing there. It just says like, oh. All right, I'm not even gonna get these guys time of date. Oh, Looper. Let's see. Yeah. How did this outpace mine? There's like no information in here. That's crazy. There's nothing in here either. Yeah, OVAs. Okay, yeah, see, OVAs, movies, chronological order, conclusion. Wait, I just looked at this one. Then we have, quote, the anime. Let's see. This one's not bad. It's a little hard to follow. But anyways, in my article, so I have it organized by, say I have it R1 and R2, where you can watch it. If you need to watch it, I can go to Exiled. What's the watch order if you want to? The alternate universe, the audio dramas, and picture dramas. Okay. Anyways, I'm not getting to any more reviews. Wait a minute. That's my image. This is mine. Why is it showing up with someone else's article? See? That's mine. Why is it... What? Is my image here? Is a lawsuit about to happen? I'm just joking. Okay. All right. We're not entertaining this anymore. Okay. Anyway, I hope that helped. So yeah, just search for watch order. My name should be on there. I'm so confused why it's not ranked on here. I guess Chrome and Edge are different. How do you go with the 10-year plan for Code Geass? If it's good content, I like it. If it's going to be more the same of like Resurrection, rivalry disrespectful. Yeah, I'm just confused because like the content, those other ones are like, what? Okay, anyways. There's no point in wasting time on redubbing the old content. Will never make less money, and how viewership doesn't matter how much. Yeah, like again, like here's another thing too about the recap build. One more thing about this, and I don't want to talk about it anymore. But watch, I will. The recap builds aren't even that good, relatively speaking. Like they're not awful if in a vacuum, but if this was their like Alchemist, like if they want to make their own Full Metal Alchemist story, they should have just gone full with it. They shouldn't have like taken parts of Code Geass and reconstructed it. They should have just redubbed it. I mean, not redubbed, remake the whole thing. Maybe redub it too. But like Alchemist and Brotherhood are very two different stories. For Code Geass, they should have gone that route. Or Helsing Ultimate. You know, did they do things same thing with Fruit Basket? But the point is like they should have just gone full with it. I would have liked that better. You know, if you're gonna make alternate universe, go full with it. You know, bring Oz the Reflection in there. Bring Oz in there. Bring Akito in there. Make it like a whole nother thing. They completely messed up. They took the easy way out and made brand new scenes that were not terrible, but ultimately, that's not what we wanted. So, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Okay. All right. I think we got through all the comments. I'll answer more as we go. But now, number 3. C2. The Trigonist. I've never heard that term before, but Trigonist of the series and one who sets all the events into motion. That's true. You do see her. She gave Lelouch the Geass, and she was following him too as a kid. Does that mean she knew him when he was a baby because she was with Charles and Marion? There's some theories about that. Is an immortal girl who can bestow the Geass contract onto others. While it's not clear exactly how long she's been alive, F.L.E.I.J.A revealed that she's lived several lives over a period of at least 500 years. I think it's like 700. She's been around a long time. Her naturally long life actually made her into a cold and emotionally detached person. But time did not deteriorate her intelligence. C2 is very perceptive and can see through traps that even Lelouch misses. She walks into some too, right? But anyways, C2 is very perceptive. I said it already. And she warns Lelouch not to take Cornelia's bait, and she sets inside the ghetto. They got it right too. She correctly identifies Lelouch as the one who can bring about her vision of ending the Geass order and ushering an era of peace, and her judgment ultimately proved to be a wise one. One thing, Akira, seriously, like stop talking about it, all right? You made your point. There is a petition people can sign. Okay, if people want to do it, they'll do it. There's another guy who keeps doing the same thing. Please stop doing it. All right, I don't want to like remove anyone. I know some people ban people on these things. I don't want to do any of that stuff, but please stop asking people to do it. All right. If people want to sign the petition, they will. But I don't think it's going to make a difference in the long run. So I'm asking nicely to please stop. Okay. We'll see if this continues. All right. So the thing about C2, right? First thing they say here, or last thing they say, is that she identified Lelouch as the one who could bring about her vision of the ending of the Geass Order and ushering an era of peace, and our judgment ultimately proved to be a wise one. No, she never did. As far as I know, none of that was her prediction. She chose Lelouch to be the one, and apparently in what's it called, Reign of Darkness, you can only give a Geass to someone who is a qualified one. And don't worry, we'll talk about that in Akito Reign of Darkness. So Lelouch was a qualified one, and he was able to develop this Geass at a point to take her code. At least she thought he would. This whole thing about ending the Geass Order, that wasn't her idea. That was never her idea. It was Lelouch's idea, and it was out of pure revenge because of what happened to Shirley, or in the case of the alternate universe, because, why not? I'm the one who should have Geass. I'm the one with the burden. That had nothing to do with C2. As far as I know, that was not her idea, okay? And they always say, this one's on me, that was not on her. So, I have no idea what they're talking about in terms of that. And also, Era, Peace, and Judgment, again, that was not, none of that had to do with her, okay? She commented on it, but no, she is a wanderer. She doesn't belong anywhere. Any term you want to use, nomad, whatever. Her idea about Lelouch being the one, what? It's not Naruto. He's the chosen one. He will save everyone. No. God, no. What? It's like this Cornelia one, too. Where I think someone one time said, like, CBR, like, makes headcanon on the spot. Yeah, there's a lot of headcanon here. Like, this part here isn't true, or it's not clear. It's not verifiable. It's only theory. And with C2, it's the same thing. Like, this is not... You guys are always so close to making good points, and then you just fudge it up. You fudge it up. Okay. But they are right. She was a cold and emotionally attached person. She's very, very perceptive of C2 traps. You know what C2 also does? They don't mention here because, again, you didn't read Reign of Darkness. Not you, the audience, but, like, the people who wrote this article. She was an advisor to the people during that time. It was Alto, Renya, Shuri, Angie, Mitsuya? I can't pronounce her name. The girl who, like, is kind of different fan service, which is unfortunate. I don't even call her the Kallen of the group because that'd be disrespectful to Kallen. But she knows so much. She gives, like, advice about life. And they don't mention here that she always says... she has, like, she always waxes philosophically about existence, right? Every single... Well, not every single, but most openings to Code Geass, she's talking about, like, philosophy and life, how even the good can create bad, and the bad can create good, and a man never lies when he makes a promise to his heart, and, like, all these things that she knows because she lived a long life. That's what makes C2, that's what makes C2 such a good character, or that's why she's intelligent, because she's gone through so much, and she could just pull, like, so much knowledge and ideas about life and philosophy to everyone. That's what makes her smart. I mean, yeah, she can figure out traps here and there, but what about, like, the rest of her stuff? They say wisdom comes to experience. C2's over still 100 years old. She's had a lot of experience. You know what I mean? That's kind of like... They're not even discussing that. Again, we keep pointing to this list, but there are different types of intelligence. And C2's only cold because everyone dies around her. She made it very clear, like, what's the point? Everyone's going to die anyways. So that's kind of interesting. And didn't she also help certain leaders in the past? Like, there's certain revolutionary leaders. Was it America? There's, like, I believe one of the books, she helped out some of those people too. So she's not just intelligent in terms of finding traps, but she's also has a lot of experience and wisdom. She's got good leadership skills. She can pilot any vehicle, not just nightmare frames, but trucks. She's really good with all kinds of weapons. She's good at fighting skills. So it's more than just... basically, because she's lived so long, she's accumulated so many skills in her life, not just traps. And I think they don't mention that here. It's not just, I can do one thing. I can do many things. I mean, imagine if you lived that long. Well, you could learn 100 languages, 100 fighting techniques. You could master instruments. You could do so many things if you lived that long. And they don't even, like, they don't dive into it, which is kind of insulting. Is she number 3? Maybe. Schneizel, L. Britannia. Yeah, they got that right. You guys are brilliant. Oh, wait a minute. No. Guys, it's two ends. Why do you keep doing that? It's so weird. Like, ugh. I mean, if you got his name wrong, I don't blame you, because his name's hard to spell. Anyways, the second Prince of Britannian imperial family, and Lelouch's most formidable adversary. Oh my god, Schneizel. Schneizel and Schneizel. They're brothers. L. Britannia's intellect, rivals Lelouch's. Schneizel is the only person Lelouch could not beat in chess as a child, and possesses a cool and calculating intellect. This second part, you kind of already said here. So, yeah, that's bad. He is a brilliant strategist and doesn't hesitate to manipulate others, such as when he tried to use Suzaku as a sacrificial pawn to kill Zero. How about the fact that he manipulated Nina to make the F.L.E.I.J.A warheads? That was way more manipulated than Suzaku. And then he manipulated Suzaku to kill Zero? Are you talking about like in when they were on Shigan Island? I think that was more of just Suzaku, you know? And he was ordered to keep him present there. That wasn't a manipulation. He was just following orders. If that's what you're talking about. Now, did he manipulate Suzaku to kill Charles? Yes. But not to kill Zero. So, I'm confused. They said although he's a genius strategist, he sometimes makes decisions based on achieving the most interesting outcome rather than achieving a certain victory. Yeah, like he's that kind of interesting. Like he likes to draw in chess games, or his strategy is always to draw and lose as opposed to win. Like he's a different outlook about stuff. That'd be a fun video to talk about, because no one talks about Schneizel of Britannia. You look up Code Geass videos, and no offense, anyone does it. Okay, all the guys who make Code Geass content, keep it up. But I'm saying that everyone talks about Lelouch's intelligence, the ethics behind Lelouch, his plan at the end. You know, I'll be doing the good evil of him, but no one talks about Schneizel much, even though he's a very interesting character. Gladiator King has mentioned many times that what exactly he is and who he is, it's not simple. So that'd be a good video to talk about. This ultimately led to his downfall as Lelouch and his allies defeated him and prevented him from utilizing the power of the DEBUNKED to conquer the world. Yeah, Schneizel didn't anticipate that Nina would come with a countermeasure. Although, why wouldn't he, considering she made the thing, you know? It's like what Dr. Marco said in Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. You know, I made the Philosopher's Stones, so I also know how to destroy them. You'd think that Schneizel would have had the same thought about Nina. She made the F.L.E.I.J.A. You'd think she would know how to take them out, but hey, not that smart. Okay. Number 2, though? Maybe. Oh, Lelouch. He's number 1? I never would have guessed Lelouch would be number 1 on this list. That, you know, of all the opinions and shockers, this is it. I'm being facetious. The protagonist and driving force of the series, Lelouch Lampeter, is one of the most brilliant strategists in the anime. He's a genius tactician, able to see several moves ahead of his opponents. Lelouch is an excellent at reading other people, and he has learned to master his emotions in order to hide his true feelings and deceive people into underestimating him. While he can be cold and calculating, and does not hesitate to sacrifice the lives of his soldiers and civilians to satisfy his aims, he is not needlessly violent or cruel. He's not needlessly violent or cruel. Narita Geass Order. Did you watch these things? Everything Lelouch does is to achieve his aim with defeating the Britannian royal family and achieving world peace. And he steals his resolve to the suffering he endures in order to make his dream reality. I don't know if he always wanted world peace. He wanted to make a world where Nunnally would be, where Nunnally would feel, I don't know, like a gentler, kinder world. So I guess world peace. But world peace comes from world war, right? So you got to consider that too. But not needlessly violent or cruel. I mean, when he used the, I said it several times already, but when he used the radiant wave surger, well, Kallen, you know, asked her to do it, to make that whole lance rock slide, I believe it was. He said he could be more accurate with it. So he killed people needlessly to do that. The Geass Order, he massacred everyone, including lots of civilians, for no reason, because he was pissed off. He killed people in turn 6 who were minding their own business. Like he aborted the flagship that Nunnally was on. There were just 2 dock workers. They might have had guns, and he told them, hey, die. He didn't say retire. He didn't say leave the ship. He just said die, you know? So, no, he was very violent and cruel. Yes, he did things that we said before. He did things for the greater good, which I agree. It doesn't mean he was not needlessly cruel or violent. He was an anti-hero for a reason. Now, is Lelouch the smartest guy in Code Geass? Right, here's the challenging part, right? We just went through the whole list. Great. Let's try to figure out if this is even if this list is even accurate. So here's the thing. If you look at all aspects of intelligence, Lelouch is pretty good at, he can lead people, he's good at project management, he's good at multitasking, he's very good at quick decisions, he can analyze a situation, come up with a solution pretty quickly. His mind is very powerful as it, like, he can, according to Mile, he has like 5 different voices in his head watching him, which is pretty difficult to do. So yeah, Lelouch is pretty smart. Is he smarter than C2? Again, it depends what you define by intelligence, because C2 has wisdom beyond Lelouch's very comprehension. But does C2 use the intelligence the same way Lelouch does? I don't know. I mean, not the same because she's a nomad. She doesn't get involved with stuff. She's very neutral. Lelouch is not, so he uses intelligence to actually do things. But C2 doesn't because he doesn't really care. I think if C2 actually gave a darn, she'd probably be actually one of the more. She's smart, but like even smarter characters in Code Geass. She's just not interested. She had one goal: I want to die. I don't care about the world. I don't care about the future. But if she took all the experience she gained from all the people she has seen over the years, I think she might have been, she might have shown a little bit more intelligence than Lelouch. You see that in Reign of Darkness. She's more, she's got a more aggressive and commanding role in that series. But so we go through this list, and a couple things we point out. First of all, these two should not be on the list. I think that's pretty obvious. They're smart, but not that smart. We don't have Nina, Lloyd, Cecile, or Rakshata on this list. Why? I don't know. Even Lelouch has called Nina a genius. Schneizel's called her a genius. Nina is one of the smartest people in the series. One, because at a young age, she figured out how to make a nuclear bomb. Or whatever the hell F.L.E.I.J.A is, which is equivalency, right? She's very brilliant in that respect. She's evil as well, right? And racist. And even CBR once asked, how could Nina be so racist but so smart? Smart people can't be racist. Right. Right, guys. I'm not even going to touch that one. So, we can take off. So, let's see. Suzaku and Kallen, goodbye. Xingke, I think he's in a good spot. I think Yuffie could be a little higher. You could switch Cornelia and Xingke. I agree with that one. Charles, I'd put him 10. I just don't know. I think he was more a product of the people around him than himself. Which is not dumb either. I mean, if you pick the right people to be around you, that's pretty smart too. But it's just V2 is too high. I think he definitely he definitely ran the show, but again, like, what are we talking about intelligence? There's so many different things to consider. So C2 is definitely higher. I mean, if we're talking about just all-around ability, she's probably smarter than Lelouch. If we're talking about like actually using intelligence to do something productive, I think Lelouch is probably better than her in that respect. But it's just, how can you live for 700 years, accumulate so much knowledge, and be dumber than some, no offense Lelouch, but some 17-year-old prodigy? I mean, I don't think that happens. Maybe it does. I don't know. I mean, sure, there's some young people who are smart and old people who live like, several decades older than them, but C2 can't age. So, she's been around for 700 plus years. She's seen a lot of rulers come and go. She's met some, she's helped some others, so it's like, Schneizel, yeah, I think if we're really top 5, I think Lelouch, Schneizel, C2 are definitely there, and you could put Lloyd on there as well. And then, who is at number 5? That's hard, because, I mean, I just want to put Nina on there. And again, I don't even like Nina, but like, yeah, I'm thinking Lelouch, Schneizel, C2, Nina, and then maybe Lloyd, because those 5, I mean, like, wow, Like, yeah, V2 has good leadership skills and definitely helped out with the whole Ragnarock Connection with Charles, but yeah, you know what would have been better in this list if they had just said what kind of intelligence we're talking about. Is it academic? Is it leadership? Is it with people? Which is it? You got to be more specific because they bring up all different types, but they don't justify what's better than another. That's why these lists are dumb in general. So yeah, that's kind of how I'm seeing that. Learning some comments, and maybe we'll wrap this up and move on to the next article because we've got some time. Okay. We're weighing. Okay, she's bearing Sakura. Well, doesn't say too much. Sakura and Naruto, the original series, was awful, and Shippuden she gets useful towards the end when like Team 7 and took back together. We're weighing 2. When's that game coming out? Like the game was supposed to come out spring, and well, spring has ended. Yeah, wasn't the anime supposed to come out too in spring? Yeah. Okay. It's just been less time making those recording radio shows they post every week, and just work on the app, please. My favorite headcanon theories I haven't heard anyone else is that in an unknown country from anywhere else except EU or Asia, such as America, Africa, Australia, for whatever reason they would be. I'm not sure what you're referring to, like Lucian C2. Unbeatable. Since Lelouch in Resurrection has a partial code, he would be most likely to have a partial code in the original timeline, and he would have the resurrect Lelouch to beat his new military might. Are we talking about in Zero Recapture? Because that's in the alternate universe. Lelouch is already alive in that one. If we're talking about like in the current universe, yeah, probably. Hey, I have a question. I know Lelouch different personalities have different love interests. So who are they? Who are they for each of their personalities? Oh, you're talking about like Zero, Kingsley, Emperor Lelouch, Lamperouge, and of course Britannia. Well, as far as I know, I don't think he loved anyone. No. Well, I made the video about it, but I guess to summarize, I think Lelouch showed most interest in C2, especially in the alternate universe, right? When he was evil Emperor Lelouch, he didn't love anybody except C2 towards the end, but that might have been Lelouch v. Britannia. One of the problems you have to, when you discuss the different personalities, is that Lelouch might have been different people, but there are times when he's always himself, even with other people, and you can kind of like pick on it. And the reason why that's important is because when I talk about if he's evil, good, or an anti-hero, you gotta analyze like, okay, when he does something, who is he acting as? And does that matter? And I have to figure that out when I'm writing the script for it. But I would say people usually say Zero loved Kallen, and Lamperouge loved Shirley, and C2 loved Lelouch v. Britannia. That's the common belief. I don't know. I think all three of them liked him as himself towards the end of the series. At least we know that for sure with Kallen and C2. And Shirley. We actually know all three of them. What am I saying? I already proved it. Watch your own videos, dude. But anyways, in terms of different personalities, I mean, given what each one was, like Emperor Lelouch wasn't supposed to love anybody, so he didn't like anybody. Zero, I think, was the same because again, his personality. When he was himself, that's when you saw if he loved anybody. So that's how I would kind of go in that direction. And save Suzaku, Nunnally, and the world. Why he came back Resurrection, the world probably. This would probably be an R3, however, it still probably never happened. To save Suzaku in the world. I mean, yeah, so it's actually a CBR article that mentioned that if Lelouch didn't come back, they would have died. I mean, yeah, that's a very strange argument to make. It's true, but it's like saying anything else could be, that's not saying anything that important. Or it's kind of like a duh. They brought back Lelouch for many different reasons. Could be fan service, could be for a new upcoming show. That's what I was originally hoping for. And then we got Resurrection, and the film was awful, but it could have been better. Someone asked at the beginning, it might have been you, Brandon, like, do you want a new series? Or I'm like, okay, I don't mind. As long as they actually get better writing and they actually ditch the fan servicey stuff and really think about a new series for Code Geass. I hope they dub the game. Or heard the dub the game. They might. I mean, they could. See, that's more likely. You could probably get the voice actors to dub the characters. You could probably get Johnny Young Bosch to come back. Some of the characters don't have dubs, like from Renya and Oz, so that might be interesting. Okay. Where are we at? Not Zero Recapture. I heard it's canon for a possible R3, but also referring to a nation that Britannia couldn't beat, so they would need Lelouch to bring back. Oh, like a possible a possible alternative or not alternative story, a hypothetical scenario. Yeah, okay, it's true. From our article from the Screen Rant, Code Geass, the main characters range from worst to best. Oh, you know what? I was just thinking that one later. That's the one I actually was going to go to that one next. I like we're in the same mindset there. I would like a what if on Lelouch got a death note. If Lelouch got a death note and a gas power, I don't think anyone could stop him. That'd be so messed up. Imagine this: you tell a person, "Hey, give me your name." Okay. I mean, he needs direct eye contact, your name or face, and you're doomed. Jesus, if he had both, he would have conquered the world in like a week. All right, let's. But yes, this interface. Okay, where was it? Yes. Oh my God. Let's do this one next. I was just thinking about it. Intelligence-wise, I think we kind of have it narrowed down. The list wasn't awful. I think some reason could have been more deep dive into, except Suzaku and Kallen didn't belong on this list when you don't have Rakshata, Lloyd, or Nina on there, or Cecile. And if you want to go further with it, there are other characters too that are quite smart, like Dalton and Guilford, and they don't get any credit at all. Like Dalton was actually a lot smarter. And how about Detard? I clearly missed it, but Detard's really smart too. He's the only guy who figured out everything Lelouch was doing. Like he knew all of his plans and strategies. He didn't like reveal anything because he wanted part of like the whole the thing about Lelouch becoming changing the world. He wanted to be a witness to it. But Detard was really smart too. No mention of him. No honorable mentions. And Kaguya wasn't on there either. And if you know there's a list where Lelouch ranked everyone, I'm pretty sure Kaguya was like one of the highest ranking Black Knight members. I don't know. And didn't Lelouch make Kururugi or Taizo Kururugi like his chief of like military strategy? What was his name? Taizo Kururugi. That's it. I have no life, guys. Anyways, let's see. Can I get everyone's freaking names? Wasn't he the chief advisor? He lived at Kyoto House. Did he become? Wasn't he a head person in the Black Knights? Am I like misremembering something? Where is it? If I don't find it, I'll just move on. Wasn't he? Doesn't say it here, but I'm pretty sure he was a head guy in there. Anyhow, I'll stop wasting time. Let's roast this article. Code Geass, the main characters ranked from worst to best by character arc. I'm not sure what they mean by that, but we're going to find out. A big part of what makes Code Geass a great anime is that its characters are truly one of a kind. Here's how their storylines compare. Okay. So when I say character arcs, they mean their storylines. Got it? When one talks about some of the greatest anime of all time, it goes without saying Code Geass will be mentioned at some point. Okay, this anime might have some mecha elements here and there, but the majority of the experience is driven by suspense, thrills, mystery, and everything else along the same lines. Okay? It's amazing that you could say so much without saying anything, or you could say so much and say nothing. A big part of what makes Code Geass a click for some people is that the fact that the characters in the show are truly one of a kind. Can we get to actually points here? The main characters are especially notable in this regard, with their individual arcs being highly useful in developing their personas while simultaneously driving forward the overarching plot itself. That being said, one has to admit that some arcs were characterized far better than others. And this list will rank all the character arcs or to add further weight to the statement. I can't wait to read the logic behind this. Number 10, Cornelia Li Britannia. You said Li here and you said V there. Oh, God. Okay. I know it's nitpicky, but it's just one of those things where it's like when you publish like 1,000 articles a day, this is what happens. Initially starting off as a fairly compelling antagonist of the star of Code Geass, Cornelia's character ends up taking a backseat to other major events as the story progresses. It's a shame since it was clear that her character had some potential that was ultimately squandered in favor of other narratives. The scene where she breaks down after the death of Euphemia is a great example of this. What? Oh, oh my God! I was expecting this to be a quick read, and let me get this straight. Because she got upset her sister died, therefore her character arc sucked. I didn't know showing emotions when your character arc sucked. I guess by that logic, when Lelouch broke down when Nunnally died. Oh, it was the worst character arc. When Lelouch got upset, when he freaked out when he nearly killed Charles. I guess that was a bad character arc. Is this alcohol? Because I could use some right now. Didn't she help just defeat too? And she went after the Geass order when she was upset Euphemia was killed, but then she gave her whole rank to go after the Geass order. Did you not watch this show? Holy crap. And I mean that with, like, all the respect. She had a great character arc. She went from someone who, like, was purely hated the Japanese people. She eventually, she helped out Zero defeat, I assume she knew it was Zero at the time, defeat V2. She got revenge for her sister on some level. She helped liberate Britannia from Lelouch. How is that a bad character arc? What potential are you referring to? Like, what was she supposed to do at this point? You gotta, like, if you're gonna say that she had a ton of potential that was squandered, what was she supposed to do with it? Queen of Britannia, Empress? That was never her intention, okay? That was never her role. She didn't get married. I don't know, like, what's like the failure here? She helped. I don't know. Wow. Just, we're already one item in. I'm already, like, confused. What exactly do you have to do to have a compelling story arc? If Shirley's not on this list, I'd be really surprised. That's all I'm going to say. And I've not read it before either. Number 9, V2. V2 is one of the most interesting characters in this entire series, serving as an immortal man. Well, I guess so. Forever remained alive a child due to his powers. Yeah, due to the code, let's use the terminology. But sure. His cold, cruel, and heartless nature has already been established for a long time, which is perhaps why V2 doesn't really need to develop as a character. His personality was set in stone long before the series even introduced him. Wait a minute. What is this article again? Storylines. Okay. How is the storyline awful? V2 didn't have much time to develop. Well, he was kind of a product of the environment, right? Because of all the people trying to kill everyone in the royal family, all the assassination attempts that killed their mother. So V2 did develop, but considering how much time he was on screen, is this really a problem? It's like saying he had a bad character arc. I mean, that depends. What was the purpose of the story? Was he supposed to develop and become something different? No, he was an antagonist to Lelouch, one of many. He represented the bad side of the code of the code bearers, the immortality, and why Geass should be used, and the dangers of it. And if you read Oz's Reflection, there's more going on with this character. You didn't read Oz's Reflection, so this statement is asinine because he actually has a bigger role in that story. So what you're saying is, in the original series, he kind of sucked. All right, you still haven't justified what is a good storyline versus a bad storyline. You haven't justified or explained, I should say, what would be a good character development, or what you're looking for. When you were going to state something like, I believe whatever, it doesn't matter what the context is, you got to state some kind of barometer or some kind of anything to indicate, like, this person is at a point, or they're supposed to be, that would fulfill my requirements. But instead, all you've done is say, well, I mean, he didn't really change much, so okay. Awesome. Charles Z. Britannia. So he's Z here and he's D there. How about just this, guys? Just say Charles Z/D Britannia, okay? I'm pretty sure this one time said King Charles. It was really stupid. The fact that Lelouch's father ended up being one of the most tyrannical characters in the entire series is something that no one could have expected. which speaks volumes when it comes to the sheer despicable nature of Charles D. of Britannia. It was his Geass probably led to Lelouch forgetting about his ambitions, leading to the second half of Code Geass that was all the more engrossing because of this unique change of circumstances. His character arc might not take precedence in the show, but still serviceable and serves as an example of why he became such a ruthless, power-hungry individual. Ranked from worst to best. So Cornelia had the worst character development, and Charles is like low end. Wait, how? I don't even. God, like, what am I even reading? Most tyrannical character in the series, like, no one expected that. He literally leads, as some people call, like, a Nazi-like empire. Didn't he say in, like, when Clovis was dying at her funeral that men are not created equal? He literally, like, he crapped on the EU and the Chinese Federation for their different political ideologies to his own, between communism, capitalism, and socialism, right? He literally said pure not equal, that's good. Like, he went off on this whole, like, tirade about the weak being, destroyed and consumed, and, like, what? How would anyone not expected that? He literally told you his opinions. Charles had a really good storyline, though, because he went from someone who was actually pure evil and you thought he was, and turns out he actually wanted to put everyone into a collective consciousness, to get rid of the mask, to get rid of lies, to make a gentler world. So the fact that they're saying he was became such a ruthless and power-hungry individual, no, wrong. He was originally a power-hungry individual, which actually was a mask for him being somebody who wanted to change the world for the better. In some respects, and this might be a controversial opinion, but him and Lelouch were very similar characters in that respect. They both used their authority to change the world for the better, doing awful things. The difference is Lelouch actually saw a future, and Charles wanted things to go back into the past. He was a ruthless individual, but that was really a mask for the good intentions. What I don't like about this, they don't take that into account, including the Ragnarock Connection itself. All they're mentioning that, okay, his gas power led to Lelouch forgetting about his ambitions. Yeah, because he erased his memories. If he didn't, not erased them, he overwrote them. If he didn't overwrote his memories, Lelouch would have kept doing what he was doing. So, and that was for one episode. Okay. But the bigger question is, was he one of the worst arcs? No. In fact, here's the thing. None of these characters had bad arcs. Maybe V2, but they haven't explained what a bad arc even means. So, all right. Oh, what? Should I even read this? Number 7, Kallen Kozuki. There was a time when Kallen Kozuki was a thoroughly unlikable character whose short-tempered nature felt like old news the moment it had made its presence known. If the only thing you saw from Kallen was her attitude, then you didn't watch the show, man. You don't know anything. Who wrote this? I don't mean to be a jerk, but who wrote this? I spoiled everything. I'm sorry. Who wrote this article? Mitra Ritvik? I'm sure you're a good person in real life, but, like, what are you talking about? Damn. Did you go on, like, Reddit for these takes? But even then, Reddit's not that bad. She probably watched DX, and that's what she came up with this. However, the show went on, Clovis was explored even further. Viewers got to witness a more passionate human side of Kallen that made her out to be more than just an enraged rebel fighter. The manner in which she falls in love with is truly unique and one of the best parts of Code Geass, even though some might feel that the relationship development happens way too late in the series. Okay, let me get this straight. Kallen can only be looked as a human character because she fell in love with Lelouch. Let's forget the whole situation in Stage 9 when she helped her mother out, and deep down, everything she was doing was for her and also for her brother who passed away. Actually was killed in combat, I assume. Let's forget all that, right? That didn't happen. None of that happened, okay? She was an enraged, crazed lunatic. You're right. She didn't just jump out of the Gurren to save Lelouch, because she was... is this for real? Like, did you watch like the first and last episode and came to an incorrect conclusion? One of the reasons why they have the episodes where they're all in school together is to show that these characters have other sides to them besides being these rebel fighters. Unbelievable. I've been reading these articles now for a while. This is one of the worst takes I've ever read about any character. Mean that seriously. One of the worst takes. If anyone watched Code Geass and saw Kallen as just an enraged, crazed person when no one liked her because of her temper, you didn't watch the show. Okay? Now, if somebody want to say Kallen was just fan service, you might have an argument there. But this is a weird take. And the other thing, too, with these takes, I'm like, where's this coming from? I'm on Reddit all the time and I'm reading people's comments. No one ever says this. If you type this stuff in, no one ever said it. I don't know, like, they said one time, this was CBR, but, same company. They said that, like, Nina was a bad example for women because she didn't get in prison for her crimes. And I was thinking, who said that? Whoever, like, were girls looking at not C2, were girls looking at Nina and were like, yeah, she's a good example. I'm gonna, kill people too or become a mass murderer, which most people probably even know that because it was probably classified information. But more importantly, like, where would that take even come from? It's just so strange to me. This is awful. I should have listened to you, Gladiator King. I should not have gone to here. This is terrible. Well, we're already deep in. Let's just finish this garbage. Wow. One more thing about Kallen, I'll just say this much, right? She does go through a lot of development in this story, especially with the situation of her mother, and you learn more why she's doing what she's doing. And yes, Lelouch's relationship with her was one of the aspects of R2. I would argue that's one of the worst parts about her character. Not because she falls in love with Lelouch, but because that's all she does. That's all she does, is she falls in love towards the end of R2. So, it's like, it's good as she fell in love with him, but, like, there was more going on with the character. R1, good setup. R2, I agree that she had a bad arc towards the end on some level, but not for these reasons. Piss off, guys. Okay. Number 6, Shirley Fenette. Okay, we agree, but let's see why. Shirley Fenette is one of those more unique characters in the entire series, with her character arc also strong in the relationship she forms with Lelouch over the course of the first part of Code Geass. This development is precisely what makes her death in the second part all the more tragic. With her efforts to reunite Lelouch with his younger sister, causing Raul Lamperoux's jealousy to take hold of him and fatally shoot Shirley before she can accomplish her goal. Okay. Let me say this much, alright? Shirley probably has the worst character arc in the story. She's not number 6, she's number 10, if you want to actually be honest here. Because what exactly is her character arc? I've said like 1,000 times. Let's see. She's in love with Lelouch. She gets the courage to talk to him. Well, things are going well. Then then Narita occurs. Her father dies. She freaks out, understandably. She apparently learns from F.L.E.I.J.A that Lelouch might be Zero. She stalks him. She finds out he is Zero. And then she runs into Mao. Then Mao reveals everything to everybody. That the whole situation with the cart and by the funeral, I think, or the grave. And then Lelouch raises her memories, and then she's irrelevant for the rest of the show. She's playing catch up. And then what happens? R2, she gets even further down the crapper because then Charles erases her memories. She gets double Geassed. Who else in Code Geass gets double Geassed? And I'm talking like one and done. I'm like, she was double Geassed for like most of R2. And then she gets her memories back. And you're like, okay, things are going well. And then she dies. Okay? So, I'm glad she's on this list in terms of like arcs. But she should have been way, way lower on this list. Because they wasted her. But she was, like, they wrote her basically to help Lelouch out. But she herself doesn't really change much. It's unfortunate. She gets courage to talk to Lelouch. I'll give her credit for that. That's about it. Unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know. Why are they talking about Shirley's death when we're using a picture of resurrection? Oh, wow. Wow, burn. You're right. Well, as they use, at CBR, they always use the same photos for all the characters, right? How many times have I seen this picture, um, and this picture too, right? It's always the same picture. If I type in CBR new films, I believe it's the same picture because these people. Oh, I didn't write Code Geass. Right. Gotta be specific. Okay. So here we go. I already went through this article already, but look at the photo they used of Shirley. I believe it was here, right? Was it here? Oh no, it was not here. My bad. Well, really, they're bad, but Lelouch. Okay. You need to know. Bullcrap. It was this one. Okay. See? Same photo as Shirley. So if you look at there, like she's same photo as they used here. Same one. Come on, guys. Come on. All right. Shouldn't watch lower on the list. Nunnally v. Britannia. The idea of someone smiling through pain and strife that Nunnally has faced in her life is something that is really hard to understand, which is what makes her character the more intriguing and likable. Paralyzed after being shot in the legs and forced by her father's Geass into believing that she was a blind, the manner in which Nunnally deals with holy problems is really remarkable. It turns her into one of the most characters in the show by a country mile. Okay, hold on. Is this article about who is the most likable or who had the best character story? All right? What are we talking about here? All over the goddamn place. This is the best arcs. Not if I like the person or not. And it was anything with Kallen too. Like, she was not likable. Is this unlikable characters or is this characters with the best arcs? Guys, you're like 10 different lists in one. See, you know, these articles. You come for the list, you stay for the insanity. I don't know what's going on here. Nothing that's even said here is even entirely inaccurate, but I'm just confused. What does it do with her character arc? Yes, she went from someone who, if you want to talk about her actual development, which they don't do here, she was upset the whole time. She was a victim, right? Because Lelouch took care of her, and she was defenseless. Eventually, she took a stand on her own, and she fought using the Democles key, right? So she definitely grew and changed as a person. They don't mention that here, of course, because that's not a character arc. Yeah, I don't know. And again, being likable or not has nothing to do with a character arc. Like, Nina has a very strong character arc in R2 because she goes from someone who was racist, and they claim she isn't. I'm not sure if it's true or not, but she was hateful, revenge. She had revenge towards Lelouch. She still hated him, but she worked with him to fix a situation where she killed millions of people to F.L.E.I.J.A warhead. She grew a lot in those short period of time and changed as a person. She had a very good, strong character arc. Same with Suzaku. So I don't know, like, you know, the more I read this, the more I'm just confused on what the heck they're talking about. This is more of a characteristics. This has nothing to do with her journey in the story. If you want to talk about her journey, yeah, it was good. Was it better than Cornelia? No. Charles? No. And definitely not Kallen. My goodness. It's almost over yet. Suzaku Kururugi. Number 4. Suzaku is the greatest friend Lelouch ever had, which makes the dynamics of Lelouch being Zero and Suzaku being a soldier in the military all the more high stakes as a result. The manner in which these two people interact with each other post-reveal Lelouch's true intentions is generally captivating and certainly one of the highlights of the series. Well, to be fair, I mean, he didn't know until the very end that of R2 he even was still doing it, so. But sure. One might argue that Suzaku's one-track mind seek justice and remain loyal to the side of the truth may get rather annoying over time. But his decision to dedication to his ethics and morals are so strong and unwavering that one cannot help but commend him for the same. But his dedication to his ethics are... Okay. But his dedication to his ethics, our morals, are so strong and unwavering that one can't help but commend him for the same. That was one long sentence that hurts my freaking brain. I don't even know what in God's name that means. You know, you can use a period, you can break stuff up, you don't have to throw everything into a sentence. I don't know what that means. But all I'll say is I agree. If if number 4 and on is good arcs, because again, they don't mention here if these are good or bad. See, sometimes CBR at least will put like, bad this, good that, which is so like juvenile, but still, I don't know if they're saying Suzaku had a good character arc. He did, by the way. As I said, he had a certain belief how to do stuff. He fought Lelouch the whole time. Eventually, he worked with him. He still kind of was in the system, right? Because Lelouch was the authority, so he worked with the authority. And he changed the world. And realized some of his ideas are not going to work, especially after the F.L.E.I.J.A. Like, once the F.L.E.I.J.A. happened, that was it. He knew he couldn't stand. He had no leg to stand anymore. They don't mention it, by the way. The whole F.L.E.I.J.A. warhead, that was the key turning point in his whole character arc. They don't even mention it here. He literally... I do quotes of Code Geass, you guys should know, on Reddit and Facebook, the two biggest groups on that. But anyways, one of the quotes I did was when Suzaku was like laughing like a maniac. Like during that whole time, like that changed him. The F.L.E.I.J.A. warhead broke him. He was just walking during the whole that whole ground zero, if you will, like just going like, I killed millions of people, and he just laughed like a maniac. That's when everything changed for him. You want to talk about like a character growth and the plot lines? That was it. They don't mention that here. What else I have to say, Anyways, number 3, Euphemia Li Britannia. Euphemia is one of the most kind-hearted and well-meaning characters in the entire show, with a need for pure justice governing pretty much all of her actions throughout the entire series, barring her final acts that ultimately led to her death. The saddening manner in which Euphemia meets her and her street heartbreak goes to show what a costly mistake Lelouch made after not realizing the full power of his Geass. Okay, again, these are not even, like I said before, these are not even full statements. But does this mean her character arc is better than other people's in the story? When you state like this guy over another, you got to give some kind of reason why you feel that way. And her whole character arc, Euphemia, it's not. She's a tragic heroine. Heroine. I almost said heroin. The drug. But can I say it on YouTube? I don't know. But anyways, she. Okay, I'll say this much about Euphemia. Yes, she definitely died tragically. She did a lot of good before the end. Her intentions were really great. Was it like a great character arc though? I mean, she was pretty much the same person from beginning to end. She wanted to help people, and she just took it as far as she could. She only really wanted to help the royal family with Lelouch and Nunnally. She did all that stuff to help them out, and then she died because of an accident or a joke, depending on who you talk to, or maybe it was intentional. Lelouch doubled down on it in turn 17, but then again, he doubles down on everything. If you got the wrong, if Lelouch, if you ordered the wrong pizza, but Lelouch was part of like your group or something, he would say that, yeah, I ordered the wrong pizza on purpose because I wanted to piss you off. That's why I did it. Even though he had nothing to do with it, but he'll double down on it. Lelouch is crazy. He'll admit to something bad and he'll double down on it. That's yeah. Euphemia's character was tragic. This is way too high for her on the list. She wasn't around long enough to really have the same kind of impact as other characters on this list, especially someone like Kallen, for example. And likability and being kind has nothing to do with having a good character arc. A lot of villains have great character arcs. I guess we gotta go back to this again, but in Monster, Johann has a great character arc, and he's the villain of the story. I don't care if he's evil or good. Vegeta has a great character arc. He's an anti-hero for most of Dragon Ball Z. Well, he's a villain in Dragon Ball Z, and he turns into he turns into an anti-hero. So it doesn't really matter if you're good or bad. Ugh, I don't know. Euphemia is way too high, though. That for sure. C2. Wow. And Lelouch, yeah, definitely took risks in this one. The idea of being immortal might appeal to many people, but there's no but there. Before they realize just how painful and lonely internal existence can really be, something that is personified by C2 and Code Geass. The idea of someone who wanted to die so badly, they would forge bonds and companionships just to bring them closer to this goal, is something that might seem quite alien to many people. But then it's not like anyone you ever face But then it's not like anyone has ever faced the prospect of immortality to even give a measured response to a situation in the first place. Okay, but oh my god, oh my god, I'm like doing all the work for these people. This is really sad. Let's go over this one more time. Main characters ranked from worst to best by character arc, not by personality, not by how I feel about them, not if they're good people. Character arc. That means where they are from the beginning, where they are at the end. Okay? And the reason why I'm saying it is not because C2 doesn't belong in number 2, but you're not explaining why she should be this high on the list. C2 went from someone who wanted to be alone, who wanted to die, and then what happened? She met Lelouch. She changed her life. She wanted to live. She wanted to experience things, even without him. That's why the ending of R2 is great, because Lelouch is dead. Not that I want him to die, but because he's dead, she's able to move on. He showed her that you can actually still live, and you need to do that. Find purpose, find meaning. Be happy, you know? That's something that living people shouldn't even focus on. Some people are living and they think they're there's an old expression, what is it, that people die at 20 and they're buried at 80? I mean, that's a real problem that a lot of people have. It's not a mental thing there. And C2 overcame that through Lelouch's help. That's why her character arc is so good. But you don't see anything here. All you talk about is she wants to die. How's that a character arc? I thought character arcs are when you grow and change. You know, you start at one point, you end somewhere else. Isn't that a character arc? These are just they're just pointing out some of their struggles or what failures they had. That's not a character arc. You don't. Oh, God, why? This was written recently too. Jeez. Okay. It's a cool picture at least. Anyways, number 1, Lucia Britannia. Wow, what a shock! Another list of Code Geass where you have C2 and Lelouch, the top people. What a shocker. The main protagonist of Code Geass is also the most intriguing character in the entire show. You don't have to tell me that. Just go on YouTube and type in Code Geass. That's all people talk about. That's all people care about. I'm not saying Lelouch is not a bad character. I'm just saying, guys, there's other people we can talk about. But whatever. I understand. He's popular. People want views. I'm not hating on anybody. It's more of just personal frustration. Anyhow, the main protagonist of Code Geass is also the most intriguing character in the entire show, with Lelouch's ambitious personality and arrogant nature, making him one of the best characters on the show by a country mile. They said something else too that was kind of silly. It was country mile, and they said something else. What was it? Country mile. They used it twice. A country mile. What the hell does that mean? Let's look it up. Because I'm curious. Country mile. Arbitrary distance than a proper mile from considerably long distance. It's slang from a long distance or a far cry. Okay. I'm not saying like it's not a bad term to use. I'm just kind of confused. What's the All right. Lelouch displays various facets of personality throughout the series, showing genuine growth as a character while simultaneously staying strong to his core beliefs or justice from the very first episode. It's the exact mentality that makes his character arc of Lelouch such a fascinating watch indeed. See, at least here they mention character growth. They don't say what kind, from what to what, but at least they mention it. The rest of these people, it's like... And they don't mention Nina here. God, really? They don't even mention Nina. I'm glad Kato made a video discuss, or was it, yeah, I think it's Kato. He discussed like this situation with Nina, and I'm like, dude, preach. I've been talking about this situation for like forever now. No one like gets it. No one understands the situation with that character. Everyone assumes that she's just evil and wants to hate her, and that's it. Like, what? What? Oh, holy moly. Okay, first thing, let's talk about characters that should have been on this list that weren't. So I said Nina, of course, is a big one. Let's see, who else went through character growth in the story that wasn't mentioned here? I don't know if D-Tard did. Maybe you could. He had a character arc. I don't know if he went through a lot of growth. He kind of switched sides. Like him and Xingke, they were flip-floppity. In Code Geass. It's funny. They had more heel turns in the big show. What else? Who else went through good character arcs in the story? I'm trying to think. Let's see. Yeah. Just because I'm blanking doesn't mean no one else did. I mean, Gino kind of did, right? Because he served the Britannia military. He was like, how come Kallen didn't, why would she go against Britannia? Why would you not want to take that be Britannian? And she's like, well, I'm Japanese. And Gino's like, yeah, I finally understand what you're saying. So maybe there's that. Schneizel, Claire King. That's a good point. Schneizel did go through a lot of character development, right? I mean, let's see. Well, you know what? Schneizel's a tragic hero, I guess, or a tragic character because I don't think he was ever evil. I mean, well, that's hard. That's hard to say. I don't want to like make affirmative statements, but didn't like Cornelia say in Times of Peace, he would be like the best person. Um, so yeah, I mean, he'd be a good ruler. So he went from someone who looked at the Geass order, not the Geass order, the Special Administrative Zone Japan was like, what kind of insanity is this? And then he eventually goes and becomes the same thing that he fought against. So yeah, Schneizel is kind of tragic. He took the roles of like how to keep humanity in order a little too seriously. Jeremiah. Oh man, you know what? How did I forget the most loyal man in Code Geass? Man, I should turn in my fan card. Jeremiah, like, yeah. Why is he not here? He had a way like I don't hate Euphemia's character, but Jeremiah, man, he went from someone who he won the sort of royal family. He was upset that he failed to save Marianne's life, and he failed again with Clovis. He went through so many failures, and so when Lelouch was revealed to be Marianne's son, he was ecstatic because he actually could do something and show his loyalty. It's all he really wanted, you know. Or how about Valletta, right? Just we're going that direction. Valletta, on some level, people say like, okay, she as you know, maybe I argue like her character didn't go the way I wanted because she settled down with Ogi and became his wife as the prime minister, which I guess is fine. You know, that's status for her. She wanted to be a baroness. I think she got that title after she turned in Lelouch or helped with the capture. But you got Valletta as well. She changed a lot as a character. That's something else I just thought about. Who else? I don't want to look at the comments. I want to think I could come up with something else. Oh, Rollo, right? Didn't Rollo had a nice character arc. I know people don't like him. That's fine. It's, but that's up to you. But he had a pretty good arc, right? I mean, what did Rollo do? He was used his entire life as an assassin by the Order, right? He eventually turns on them because Lelouch showed him a world he didn't think existed, even if it was fake, and he died defending him. He died a hero. Considering Rollo was hated like 5 episodes before that, no, I'm sorry, not 5, 6 episodes before that, he died a hero helping out Lelouch, and he made a big impact because he realized what mattered and what didn't. So that was actually a good, Rollo was pretty significant too, if we're going to go this route. Yeah, Guilford was good too. Absolutely. He got mind fudged by Lelouch. I don't want to go into this, but how come in the Lelouch Resurrection, Guilford didn't punch Lelouch in the face? Or more importantly, why didn't Cornelia even mention the fact that, you used Geass, you killed Euphy and Dalton. How about Guilford? Man, that guy almost died in a nuclear explosion thinking he was defending Cornelia. Or, I'm sorry, saving Cornelia. Man, if I was Guilford, I saw Lelouch, I'd punch him. I would do what Suzaku did, but worse. And keep in mind, Guilford is like twice the size of Suzaku, both physically, like he's what, 6'5". If he punched Lelouch several times in the face, I think he'd kill him. And I wouldn't blame him. He almost went blind because of that insanity. Ugh. Man, I would love to see an alternative scene where Guilford beats the crap out of Lelouch. I'm not saying that like I want Lelouch to get, beating, but it's just like, how did Guilford just look at Lelouch and be like, yeah, it's fine. You ruined my life. It's cool. It's cool. This is fine. Being blind is fine. Nearly dying is fun. It's fine, It's great. I love Cornelia. We'll never get married. It's fine. I wish they did, though, by the way. I believe there were a couple. Somebody a long time ago asked me to, analyze their relationship. I might do that at some point, because I think they were in love with each other. At least Guilford or Cornelia. There's actually a part in R2. I think it's R2. He's going to, a book, a picture book of not a picture book, a photo album of what happened like when he was in Cornelia. I think he was I think he liked her a lot. Especially to the one part where she's in the hospital bed and Guilford's with her the whole time. Yeah, I think something was going on there. Overall, this article is painful for one main reason, because it's one thing to mention character traits that you like or parts of a character you didn't, but that doesn't justify a bad or a good character arc. You have to actually talk about where they were and where they went, and that's how you determine if they were if it was a bad character arc, or what was their goals, did they accomplish them. These are things you should think about. Not if the person is like unlikable. Who cares? What is the goal of your article? Unbelievable. This is one of the worst I've ever read. And I read that Suzaku article by CBR. I thought that was bad. This is the worst. My goodness. I would say if you're reducing like this, I would do 5 of the worst arcs, or 5 of the best, or say 5 aspects that were not good and 5 aspects that were good. Try to go deeper into it. This was all over the place, and that's saying something. You know what, Akira, I'll say one thing about your point about bad animes being dubbed. You're right, and one thing that kind of bothers me, I don't want to go too much into this, but there's one of my favorite animes. When you talk for 2 hours, this is what happens. Okay. One of my favorite animes of all time is Major. It was never dubbed. It was a fun shonen baseball anime. I love baseball too, by the way. And it never got dubbed. It never will be dubbed. And it was so good. I'm watching it like now. Unfortunately, legally, because there's that's another thing too. No streaming service even has Major. I don't think you can buy the DVDs. It's crazy. It's like Monster, right? Like Monster. I keep talking Monster. Man, I'm telling you, one of these days, this the videos for this series is coming. But with Monster, it what's it called? It had like one DVD release, and that's it. It wasn't even a whole show. It's not any streaming services. You have to literally watch it on YouTube. I think it's one of those like one show where it's technically illegally posted on YouTube, but no one does anything about it because no one really owns it. You know, at one point, I think Viz Media had it because I watched it on an app called Manga Watcher on the Xbox 360 in like 2010, I believe. So, God, what a sad time to live in. Infinite Stratos gets a dub, but Major doesn't. If you guys don't talk about Infinite Stratos. Or Heroic Age. Have you guys seen Heroic Age? Oh my god. Heroic Age I was so excited for that one, man. It looked so cool, and then it just, well, I'll show you one thing about it. One thing. Let's see if I can find it. Where's those characters? Did it show them here? Hold on. Let me check the wiki. Let's just check the wiki. Heroic Age is basically what happens when you put all your budget into the mech part and you don't actually put anything anywhere else in terms of the animation. Where's the Silver Tribe? Okay. Where's the characters? Okay, here we go. Where's that one character? He was so creepy looking. Where is it? Is it Prom? Or Prom? No, that's the woman. There's one character in the Silver Tribe was so creepy looking. I couldn't believe they actually animated that. Wow, I don't even... was it the Bronze Age? Oh my god. This wiki is not even well supported. That makes sense. I mean, nobody cares about this show. I don't mean to be a dick, but for good reason. Is it the Argonaut? Where's like the people in this story? Man, 1 second. 7 Heroic Age. I'm gonna probably stop in a second. I'm just curious, like where. God, look at this animation. Like, you think Code Geass is bad. Oh my god. In terms of like fan service, this show was just insane. And all the characters were so thin. Like Code Geass, no one eats food. I think in Heroic Age, nobody eats food and they literally puke it out just to be safe. You know, they double down on it. No food, and we and we don't even like maintain our current body fat. There was a character in this story that really freaked the heck out of me. Yeah, look at this guy. Look at this guy's face. Oh my god. Ugh. This face. This show had so much heavy CGI and stuff. Like I could rant for so long about why this show was pure trash, but not today. That'll be another time. So back to as Gladiator King said, a good recommendation. Yeah, it was a good recommendation. If you wanted to drive me insane and destroy whatever sense I had left about life, or hope I should say, Stratos MC is more dense than a dark hole. Look, Stratos, as far as I understand, is a harem mecha story that took concepts from other much better stories and didn't do anything with them. Chika is the worst harem protagonist. Is that the person who's in charge of Stratos? I'll be honest, I've never actually watched it. I've seen like clips, and I just gave up. What was it, Stratos? Is that his name? I feel dirty just going on this. Is that his name? You know what? Let's just type in the name. Chika. Anyway, let's just go on Mal. Oh, it is him. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty bad. And that's an actual harem, by the way. Code Geass is not a harem. I might one day do a video discussing like the biggest the wrongest takes people have about the series, because some people say Code Geass is a harem and it's not by the definition. So yeah, this was fun. Oh boy. Well, yeah. Right. If you guys have more bad CBR articles or Screen Rant, let me know. Like, if you like I say, this video after I'm done with the stream, you can go on there and like comment if you want me to talk about other ones. There isn't much left to do about Code Geass. Thank God people stopped making articles about the series because they realize that they don't know what they're doing, or maybe they just want to do like 2,000 Bleach articles. Seriously, there's like 2,000 Bleach articles. How many times do you talk about Bleach? You know. Top 5 characters that could beat Ichigo. 5 characters that Ichigo could beat. 5 characters that Ichigo would lose to. 5 characters who could do this. 5 characters who would do that better than him. Like, oh my god. Carl Solis. Ruiz, sorry. Luce looks hot. Yeah, he's kind of thin to me. Can you tell me each of the Luce's personality love interest? Difficult to say because it really depends on what part of the show. It depends on how you interpret actions. Like, it's so complicated because Code Geass is so indecisive about this, except for the resurrection, which maybe was fan fiction. Be cool if Walter dub for the recap movies. I'm fine with them sounding a bit different. I don't know. I guess. There's one article I found that said the most hated character in the series. I didn't like that article. Oh, yeah, you know what? We'll do that next time. I think you're talking about this one. Code Geass. I think it was just hated. Hold on. Code Geass. I know what you're talking about. Hated. Here it is. This is the one. Yeah, we'll have to go against this next time. I believe this was the best part, by the way. Little sneak peek. You see what it says here? See what it says here? Lelouch's father. Oh my god. That was funny. I mean, I know that's not technically wrong, but like, he has a name. So and they put it. Wait. Look what it says here. Charles Z. Britannia. Oh, I see. They didn't put the space there. Oh, wow. Charles Z. Britannia. Who was shown to be Lelouch's father. Oh god. Oh my god. Alright. I've already melted my mind. So I'm not looking more at this stuff. Anywho, I think we're gonna end here because my camera's gonna die in about 20 minutes. I haven't bought replacement batteries yet. Next time I'll do that. But yeah, that's yeah, we'll end it here. It's like 2 hours. Thanks guys for participating. Let's see. So I said Reign of Darkness. I got halfway through it. Hopefully next week I'll have that. For the last stream I did, I redid all the article responses because my stream sucked. This time the stream was good. I don't know about the quality. I know because again I streamed at a lower thing, but at least we didn't have no crashes, so that's a win. I'll know next time to use Edge because Chrome sucks. But yeah, yeah. So I got that coming out. Some articles too. I'll keep you guys posted. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good night or day or whatever you're watching, what time. But peace out, guys.